From the Capitol campus of California State University, Sacramento, this is Made at Sac State.
Welcome to Made at Sac State, the video magazine. I'm Gloria Moraga. We are here to share the university's story and to celebrate academic excellence, our students and our faculty who are redefining the possible in the region and beyond.
You have got it on.
The College of Arts and Letters is vibrant, colorful, dynamic.
The college is also home to programs that are the bedrock of higher education.
We're going to talk about movies. We're going to talk about film.
English, history, philosophy, communication studies.
The nature of the message, we only know what the content was. Right. Good, excellent. So we don't want to be retelling.
And foreign languages.
Faculty and students in the College of Arts and Letters are closely connected to the community with music and theater, art, and so much more.
The College of Arts and Letters, creating the unexpected and redefining the possible.
Joining us now is the Dean of the College of Arts and Letters, Dean Ed Inch. Thank you very much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
And we're going to have the students introduce themselves, and just when you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Taylor Grossman. I'm a junior here at Sac State, and I'm a theater major with a musical theater minor.
And?
Hi, I'm Urias Davis. I'm also a theater major. I'm a senior, and I'm also double majoring in deaf studies.
Oh my gosh, and you guys are just doing some fabulous things, and we're going to get to that in a second. But first, we want Dean Inch to tell us a little bit about the college.
Arts and Letters is a very large, dynamic, and amazing college. We do a lot. More than 200 events on stages and in galleries. We do a lot of community-based programming. We invite people from around the region to come and create with us in an event called You Create and things like Family Fun Day Sunday. But the college is really focused on three things that we think we're really good at and really prepare our students and to engage our communities. One is an excellent education that's designed to meet their needs and our community's needs as we move forward. The second is innovation. We think, being the home of everything creative and cultural, we think that we're in a position where we can help people think differently and try new things and experiment. And then the final thing we think we're very good at is our community engagement. We're a big part of our community, and our community is a big part of us. And so we have partnerships and connections that we work with galleries and cultural institutions and theaters around town and around the region. And that's been a lot of fun. It feeds the vibrancy of the college, and I think it really supports the kind of institution we want to be.
And we are, and thank you very much for that. I'm going to play a little trick on you guys. I'm going to have Urias describe Taylor's work. And Taylor, you talk a little bit about Urias' work, and we'll start with Urias.
Okay.
And tell us about Taylor and how award-winning she is. And tell us, because, now we'll just let her sit there and bask in the glow.
Well, Taylor is flawless.
But
when she did her first show here, Gypsy, I mean, I've worked with her before, so I know what she can do. But to see her on stage and own that and really be present, it was just amazing.
And tell us about the recent competitions, and she came out on top there.
Yeah, we went to Washington for KCACTF.
Which stands for?
Which stands for Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival. Got it. And I was honored to go as her partner. And she won the musical theater scholarship, and she placed runner-up for the whole Irene Ryan acting scholarship.
All right.
So
you're quite the force to be reckoned with, Gypsy.
Oh my gosh. I'm still overwhelmed from Gypsy. But so every show that Sac State does, 2 people get nominated to go to the competition. And so I got nominated from Gypsy. So it's a year later that I went, and I decided to take Urias as my partner. And it was honestly like so amazing and so much fun, and really something that I've never like done before. I'm not super competitive, so I was just like, I'm just gonna have fun, and I mean, we got second place. Yeah, and musical theater is what I love to do, so it's kind of within the KCACTF, there's the musical theater competition, and 2 people won that, and I was one of them, so that was so cool and amazing, and you know, I just can't even describe it. And having Urias as my partner was amazing, having somebody who's such a good friend and you feel so comfortable with on stage. I guess our chemistry really showed. So
Well, it shows. So I don't want to let you go, and I don't want to let the go. Describe your Sac State experience.
I just recently fully decided to commit myself to the theater major because I feel like there's such a stigma to theater and music as a career. Everybody's like, that's not a job, or like all these things, and I'm like, but it's like what I love to do. And the professors that we have here are so amazing and really put all of their effort towards the students and making them the best they can be, so that when you go into the real world, you really know what you're doing and what you're getting yourself into. And Michelle Felton was our advisor for the Kennedy Center competition that we did, and I felt I've grown so much in just the month that we practiced, and it's really given me the confidence, just this whole experience at Sac State in general, to really pursue what I love to do.
I'm Sean Hidalgo. I'm a film major, and I'm made at Sac State.
Hi, I'm Mustafa Shaheen. I'm an art studio major, and I am made at Sac State.
Sac State's film program is producing some amazing graduates who are producing some amazing films. Have you seen Fruitville Station?
Hello, my name is Ryan Coogler, and I'm a filmmaker. I grew up about an hour away from Sac, so the inception for the film that I did last year called Fruitville Station actually came from an incident that happened in the Bay Area where I'm from, and it was an incident that affected everybody there. An unarmed African-American young man named Oscar Grant was shot and killed while he was being detained by BART transit officers. A lot of Bay Area residents were there on the train, and they recorded with their video cameras and with their cell phones. When I first saw the footage, I couldn't help but to see myself in Oscar's shoes. He was the same age as me, 22 at the time, and looked like me, wore the same kind of clothes that I wore, and it really affected me on an emotional level. What was really lost was the real breadth of the tragedy, the fact that this guy was a 22-year-old human being with pluses and minuses to his personality and to his life, but didn't make it home to the people who he mattered to, and that all lives matter to somebody.
Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight to check out the film that we worked really hard on. It's a very special screening for me. I went to school in Sacramento State, and the first time I learned how to touch a camera was at Sac State. The first time I learned how to use an Avid editing software was at Sac State. With Dr. Pomo and Professor Buss are two of the biggest reasons why I'm standing in front of you guys right now.
I'm Ryan Coogler, and I was made at Sac State.
This is Made at Sac State, the video magazine. I'm Gloria Moraga. We're talking about one of my most favorite subjects in the whole wide world. Nothing I love more than going into the movies, getting some popcorn, and enjoying the show. Thank you very much, Professor Jenny Stark, for being here. You're in the film program from the very beginning of the film program at Sac State. And we have 2 from the film program, but we want you to introduce yourselves.
I'm Juan Avalar. I graduated from Sac State's film program in December 2014, so I'm a recent graduate.
Okay, and
my name is Yashalan Nelson, and I'm currently a 4th year in the film program, and I graduate in the fall of 2020.
We are so excited about hearing your stories, but we'll start with Professor Stark.
Well, we started out as a video production program as part of communication studies, and I was finding that my students really wanted to learn more about film than what we were offering in communication studies. And I also knew that there were a lot of professors like Dr. Pomo and Doug Rice who students could benefit from outside of communication studies. So what we did is we created this interdisciplinary program where students get production classes in communication studies, but they're learning film history, theory, and criticism in the interdisciplinary form.
How is it to go through this program? What did you learn? Tell us.
Well, the best thing that I took out of this program was getting to learn how to see film. Before the film program, I would enjoy movies and I knew there's something about them that I really loved. But it wasn't until I went to this program where I learned how to really look at them and how to appreciate them and make them.
And yeah, definitely, as Juan touched on, there's a lot that goes into filmmaking that as film majors we appreciate, but we don't really understand, and we really reflect in our old videos and our amateur ways, and we really get to see what professionals do and watch professional instructors break it down for us so that we can create better films going into our futures.
Have you always loved film? Have you always loved that form of communication?
Always, since I was about 12 years old, yeah. I always knew I wanted to be a part of something like this. I wanted to be a part of a production, and I just never knew how to get my foot in the door. But once I got in high school and got exposed to multimedia, I knew it was something I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
It seems like now everyone is producing a video. What kind of videos do you produce, or what kind of film do you produce?
I produce short films, narrative short films. I like to make things for fun. I like to make cartoons for fun, things like that. I'm kind of all over the place. So, but yeah, for the most part, I want to make narrative films as a professional filmmaker.
And Juan, what kind of things do you like to produce?
Same here. I really enjoy narrative and documentary work.
Which way did they go?
I'll show you. If you let me down.
Why were you traveling by yourself?
My wife died from a fever on our way to California.
How closely do you work with your professors on the films and in your studies?
I've gotten to know Jenny very well since the beginning of the program. We've been really connected throughout the process, and to the point where I was actually once her assistant for one of her classes. Also, when I was doing my senior project, one of our past professors was also very involved, and having the person with that experience on set helping you to see your errors and so you can see what you're also doing right could put you in the right path to becoming a better filmmaker.
All right, we thank you very much, all of you, for joining us, and we appreciate you spending some time with us. And good luck in the film department, because we need a film. We need those movies and love them. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Juan Jose Avalar. I'm a graduate of the film program, and I was made at Sac State.
My name is Joshua Nelson. I'm a film major, and I'm made at Sac State.
I'm Jenny Stark. I'm the coordinator of film, and I teach the students who are made at Sac State.
I enjoyed philosophy because I thought it was just truth and wisdom and how we should live our lives. And so that's the reason why I'm a philosophy major now.
Okay, do you want to say more?
Well, being a philosophy major at Sac State, I've met some awesome professors, and the philosophy club as well is really welcoming and just really chill.
So the reason why I'm a philosophy major is just because of how interesting the subject is. I switched my major from business to philosophy, mostly just because I found it completely interesting. And you just learn about all kinds of things in the world. What's real, what's not real? Can you even trust your intuition? Or what counts as knowledge? All really interesting subjects.
The Department of Philosophy, pondering ethical questions of today and yesterday, the future as well. Welcome, Professor Christina Bellin. Thank you for being here. And thank you, students, for coming. What we're going to do is have the students introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Chavez, and I'm a philosophy major.
And
my name is Kate Runkle. I'm a philosophy major as well.
Kate and Cynthia, thank you for being here. We're going to ask you a couple questions about philosophy and what you study and why in a second, but first we'll talk to the professor. Tell us a little bit about the Department of Philosophy, and we do also want to talk about ethics and
certainly
that kind of thing. So tell us about the department.
Well, the philosophy department is a sort of mid-size philosophy department.
but we have the largest number of philosophy majors of any of the CSUs, which we're very proud of. We have lots of wonderful students like these. And we offer a broad, comprehensive undergraduate education in philosophy, but several years ago, the department made a decision to make ethics one of its primary focuses. And so I was one of the faculty hired on to build that dimension of the department back in, 2002 now. So ethics has been a very significant component of our curriculum, and also with the development of the Center for Practical and Professional Ethics in 2006, it also became an element of our service to the campus community much more broadly than merely in the curriculum.
How important is this area of study when we talk about educating our students and giving them kind of a basis for decision making in business, in almost, I think, every field?
Well, ethics is historically one of the central dimensions of philosophical inquiry. Often people say philosophy is very esoteric. You have people wondering about the nature of reality. Do I exist, and how would I know it if I did or didn't? Am I just a brain in a vat? Those are fun and playful epistemological and metaphysical questions. But ethics has always been there as well as the next question, and how should I live, and what should I do? And so it's a significant part of philosophy generally, and we've decided to make it an area of our focus and concentration. Every student, I think, who attends a university should have at least one course in ethics, and I think perhaps more for those who are intending to have a professional degree in some area that affects the public more broadly.
Now, Cynthia, tell us why you're studying philosophy, and how interested are you in this whole ethics thing?
Because I was interested in philosophy, that's why I went that route. That's why I picked that major. It's generally because I use it every day. It's a major that's universal. You can do anything with it, in my personal opinion. So.
And your long-term goals, you want to become?
A family lawyer. So.
And how much does your ethics studies help with your future?
A lot. It's definitely, I know not only does it help me now with the decisions that I make, even going to school, but I know it's going to help in the long term with my career. So,
Kate, tell us a little bit about your interest in philosophy. When did this start, and what do you want to do long term?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in philosophy. I like to read, so that's where that started. And I came from a community college where I fell in love with the academic study of philosophy. And for me, it's the same. I think that, it really does help with the everyday. It allows me to help other students who are philosophy majors or not philosophy majors. And I plan to go to grad school. So I'm interested in ethics and feminist philosophy, and that's very important to me. It's a way that I can work with my academic studies towards helping women in general.
And part of our show is having our students and faculty kind of describe your Sac State experience and how closely you work with faculty. Just briefly, can you just give us a couple of words, both of you, and then
very closely. I can go. Yes. Well, I just started. This is my first semester. I transferred from a community college, so far it's been amazing.
Anytime with this department, it's such a close-knit department that anytime you go to a professor's office, they're there to talk to you, help you, work through papers or any problem that you're having.
Thank you all for being here on Made at Sac State, the video magazine, and sharing your experiences in the philosophy department. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Peng Cha Stephanie Her. I am a philosophy major and I made at Sac State.
My name is Ali Shantz. I'm a philosophy major and I am made at Sac State.
Hi, my name is Channing. I'm a philosophy major and I made at Sac State.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lynn Fox. I teach philosophy to students who are made at Sac State.
Well, the piece is called In a Moment. The original idea comes from friendships and how they are formed and what things can come in between them, either to inhibit them or help them grow. So the table that I'm using as a prop actually represents this thing that can both inhibit and help it grow.
Magazine. We've just been watching a video clip from one of the College of Arts and Letters' wonderful productions, and we thank our guests for joining us. Really happy to have you here. Professor Lorelei Bain, who is also Vice Chair of the Department of Theater and Dance, and we're going to do something a little different. We're going to have the students introduce themselves and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Alex Martinez. I am a theater major with a dance minor.
And what productions have you been in recently?
I was in the one we just saw, the Choreographers Collective, the Dance Sites faculty show this past December, and I'm currently casted in Twilight Los Angeles 1992, as well as Unveiling the Soul.
You're not too busy, are you?
Busy.
and we'll let Thea introduce yourself.
My name is Thea Gabriel, and I'm currently performing with SBAD this year, and I'm also in progress choreographing my senior dance piece.
Just tell us a little bit about the department.
Our department is always busy. So, and just like all Sac State's students that are working all the time to pay their tuition and to come to their classes, our majors do the same and our minors. And on top of that, they're rehearsing into the wee hours of the night and on weekends to live their dream and live their passion. And so we're really thrilled at all of the events and productions that we can produce in our department in theater and dance every season. We're just thrilled.
Now, your background is dance.
My background is dance.
So you know how difficult it is to study, work, learn, and dance. But how do you do this with the students? How do you keep them on task, keep them motivated and going?
I think that our season itself being so diverse and having something for everyone we touch all of the students in some way. Students that are in the production, students working backstage on the productions, and also students in our GE classes that come and see and are moved by what they're seeing on the stage. And we just constantly ask them to take a look at their time management and to get rest and sleep, and because they have a lot that they're juggling. But I think by the time they graduate, they really have a handle on what it takes to navigate this kind of artist lifestyle. You know, that in the arts, things are going to be unexpected, you're going to need to be flexible, and I think that our programs really show this to them, and more than that, have them learn it in a hands-on experiential way.
Really briefly, tell us a little bit about how you feel about this department and your Sac State education.
I love it. I think most of it mainly because how Lorelei said, it's a lot of hands-on. So we do get the time to have like our lecture classes and learn about the history of dance and kind of the background of dance, but you really get to just throw yourself into either choreographing if you have the opportunity or dancing. There's many opportunities to dance. There's a few opportunities to choreograph, and I think the faculty does a good job on encompassing all dance, whether it's ballet, modern, Mexican folklorico, African Caribbean. There's so many options here. We're almost not limited, which is really nice, because I know a lot of other schools that I've talked to other dancers, they don't have as many varieties of dance to learn and enjoy like we do here.
Describe your Sac State education. How closely do you work with the faculty?
It's like a work environment, except for we are basically living in Shasta together, but we all go home to our own beds and come back the next morning early. And we are in classes with them. If we are working on a production with them, they are giving us choreography, or they're giving us blocking, and they teach us how to go places we haven't been before. For myself, I'm a transfer, so my education before this was different, and then I came here and my understanding of theater and dance expanded by tenfold. So we're always with each other. We're like side by side every day.
Thank you all for being here, and I'll say the Department of Theater and Dance, thank you all for working so hard in this department, and tell everyone out there how wonderful your productions are. It's like you guys are like the jewel here at Sac State.
Thank you so much. We really want Sac State to be proud of everything we do, and we strive for that every day.
My
name's Art Gruenberger. I'm an instructor in the Department of Theater and Dance, and I teach the students who are made at Sac State.
We're the cast of Avenue Q, and we are made at Sac State.
Hi, I'm Robert Nelson, president of the university, and I'm so proud of all of my students who are
made at Sac State.
Throughout the video magazine, we've been enjoying some sounds from Sac State's fabulous Latin jazz ensemble.
My name's Billy Thompson. I'm a jazz studies major here at Sac State. I play the drum set. This is my third year here. It's an excellent program, top-notch quality. The professors are great. They really care about their students, and the students here are dedicated and professional.
And who doesn't love Latin jazz? How wonderful is that? Thank you for joining us for Made at Sac State, the video magazine, and the College of Arts and Letters. I'm Gloria Moraga. We leave you now with scenes from commencement in the College of Arts and Letters and some music under by our award-winning jazz ensemble. Enjoy.
My name is Jamie Roth. Getting recognized by the Dean and by the College of Arts and Letters is completely surreal. My professors here were so amazing. Anytime I had a question or I wasn't sure how to complete an assignment, their doors were always open. My experience at Sac State was transformative.